Welcome back, Simona Cochi, The Italian Way, and I'm absolutely delighted to introduce you to the upcoming Florence Biennale. The Florence Biennale transforms heritage into living culture where the genius of the past meets the imagination of the present. So we're gonna step and delve into Florence and its legacy, and I prepare for you a few concepts in order to have a bigger pictures of what Florence represents in arts and design. So Florence holds a central place in world history, is the cradle of the Renaissance, known also as the Medici City, a symbol of the artistic patronage and cultural rebirth. It was home of Leonardo da Vinci, whose genius bridges art, science, and design. Designer Patricia Urquiola, that is one of the guests and one of the awarded celebrities for this edition, calls Florence a city that preserves the art and of thought and transformation. Bear in mind that also the Accademia delle Arti del Disegno, founded in 1339, a long time ago, is the world's oldest art academy, once home to Leonardo and Michelangelo. What you're gonna admire at the 15 Florence Biennale. These incredible events will be hosted at the Fortezza da Basso, a masterpiece of Renaissance military architecture. The Biennale honors history through its awards. Lorenzo il Magnifico Awards is one of the category of the participants in his design for art connects today's artists with the Medici legacy. And Tim Burton is involved as a super guest of this edition is for the Lorenzo il Magnifico Award. And then we have Leonardo da Vinci Award for Design, celebrates creativity and innovation. And Patricia Urquiola will be designed for to be the principal candidates for this award. The central theme is the sublime essence of light and darkness. So these are the shadows, the chiaroscuro, that are the principal features of Florence and the colors of Renaissance. And it will explore the dualism that shape Western through Western thought, from Heraclitus to Galileo. And then you can have the possibility of listening to lectures by Gregorio Luc on Rembrandt and Siqueiros, masters who blend light, memory, and emotion. It's all about that. We love to be overwhelmed and to be blended in this kind of emotions that derives from memories, history, and colors, and yeah, everything. The winning works are later exhibited at the Accademia delle Arti del Disegno, uniting contemporary creators with Renaissance masters. Special projects revive historic design, such as Florent in Auro, jewelry inspired by the golden rose of Pope Pius II in the 1458. That's crazy. Such a long time. And so, yeah, there is so much on on the calendar to discover. And I ask my AI friends to shape, to craft for you upon my researches and my scholar papers and what I was able to assemble together, to gather together, to realize a special digital review for you. And so in a few seconds time, in the next segment, you will hear their words. Keep on staying tuned. Simona Cochi, The Italian Way.
Welcome to the deep dive. Our job, well, it's pretty simple. We take a whole heap of quality source material, dig through it, and give you the core insights, the key facts, the aha moments.
Exactly. So you can get up to speed quickly without drowning in information.
And today we're tackling something substantial. We're aiming for an authoritative, almost academic summary of a major international cultural event.
Right. We're applying that classic journalistic framework, the 5 Ws, and H who, what, where, when, why, and how. It helps structure everything to really understand not just the event itself, but its significance in contemporary art and design.
Okay, and because this deep dive relies on very specific expert analysis, we have to give credit where it's due right at the start.
Absolutely essential.
This review has been researched, analyzed, and produced by Simona Cochi, digital journalist and producer from The Italian Way, an expert in the field of digital valorization of arts, design, and fashion events and collections, who curated and authored the contents of this review.
Okay. With that important context established, let's dive in. We're focusing on the upcoming XV Florence Biennale. That's the International Exhibition of Contemporary Art and Design.
Right, let's start with the fundamentals. The when and where, logistics first. So, for anyone thinking of going, or just keeping track, it runs from Saturday, October 18th through to Sunday, October 26th, 2025.
That's a tight 9-day window in the autumn.
And the timing is very slightly right. Opening Saturday is 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. The final Sunday is 10 a.m. to 7 p.m.
And most other days are 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. But crucially, remember it's closed on Monday, October 20th. You don't want to show up then.
Good tip. And there are key moments framing the whole thing.
Definitely. The official opening ceremony kicks things off Saturday the 18th at 11 a.m. And then it all wraps up on that final Sunday the 26th, the awards ceremony at 3 p.m., followed by the official finissage, the closing party, around 5:30 p.m.
Got it. Okay, and the where? Well, it's Florence, Italy. You can't get much more iconic than that. Specifically, the Fortezza da Basso.
Yeah, and that's not just some modern convention center. We're talking about a massive 14th century Renaissance fortress.
Wow. So
Yeah.
you've got contemporary art inside this historic military structure.
Exactly. It's over 11,000 square meters of exhibition space across two main areas, the Padiglione Spadolini and the Padiglione Caviglia. That juxtaposition of old and new is pretty
I
powerful.
bet. And the event has some serious backing.
Oh, absolutely. It's held under the high patronage of the European Parliament. Plus, it's sponsored by the region of Tuscany and the municipality of Florence. The Hotel Savoy is even chipping in as a cultural partner, hosting the opening party. It signals, real institutional and cultural weight.
Okay, that sets the scene perfectly. Let's move on to the what and why. What actually is this event and what's the driving idea behind it?
Well, the what is fundamentally it's an international showcase for contemporary art and design, but the sources stress its specific format. It really tries to put the artists and designers front and center.
How?
The idea is to facilitate direct contact. Artists talking directly with curators, collectors, critics, and importantly, the general public, maybe with less filtering than usual. It's positioned as a forum for discovery.
Interesting. And the why? Is there a specific theme tying it all together?
Yes, and it's a big one. The central theme for this XV edition is the sublime essence of light and darkness, concepts of dualism and unity in contemporary art and design.
Okay, the sublime essence of light and darkness. That sounds quite ambitious, maybe even a bit abstract.
It is ambitious, definitely.
I mean, you've got what, over 550 artists and designers from more than 85 countries?
Yeah.
How do you stop a theme like light and darkness from just becoming, a vague umbrella?
That's a fair question, and the Biennale seems aware of that risk. The material suggests they're grounding it in specific philosophical ideas to give it teeth. It's not just light versus dark in a simple way.
Okay, like what?
They talk about exploring the primordial union between them, They actually reference thinkers like Heraclitus, the ancient Greek philosopher, who talked about the conflict of opposites acting together in harmony.
Ah, so it's about the tension between them being necessary, not just picking good over evil or light over dark.
Precisely. It's about interdependence. They also bring up yin and yang, that idea of a fundamental unity that underlies apparent multiplicity.
Okay, so the why, the purpose, is deeper. It's using art to make us think about how things we see as opposites, maybe in society, maybe environmentally, maybe personally, are actually part of one system.
Exactly. The stated aim is to foster reflection, promote dialogue, even peace, by understanding these seeming contradictions as unified.
That really elevates the challenge for the artist, doesn't it? Across all those categories.
Bit-
What were they, 13 for art, 6 for design?
Yep, everything from painting, sculpture, digital art, photography, performance, video art, through to architecture, industrial design, even technology and game design.
So across all these fields, the artists and designers are being asked to grapple with this complex idea of unity in opposition.
That's the curatorial thrust, yes. To show how these seemingly divided concepts are actually interdependent.
Right, let's talk about the who, because the big names announced as honorees seem perfectly chosen for this theme, but from really different angles.
Absolutely. The Lifetime Achievement Awards are key here. For the visual arts, the Lorenzo Il Magnifico Lifetime Achievement Award goes to American film director and artist Tim Burton.
Tim Burton. Okay, that makes perfect sense with the light and darkness theme. His whole aesthetic revolves around that, doesn't it? Finding beauty in the dark, the melancholic, the gothic.
It does. And the award motivation highlights exactly that. It mentions his ability to revolutionize how we see darkness, blending opposites, light, shadow, good devil, order, chaos, to create these unique concepts of beauty. His award ceremony is set for Tuesday, October 21st.
He really does make the uncomfortable beautiful. And then, for design,
For design, the Leonardo da Vinci International Lifetime Achievement Award goes to Patricia Urquiola. She's an architect, a designer, and currently the art director of Casina.
Patricia Urquiola. Okay, so how does she connect to this dualism theme? Her work feels quite different from Burton's.
It is different, but the connection is there, just approached materially and ethically. The award citation mentions her constant research, courageous experimentation, especially in designing things, spaces, objects that respect nature. They specifically call her work an admirable example of hybridization and unification of opposites.
Ah, I see. So Burton explores the sort of emotional narrative dualism, the monster who's also sympathetic. Urquiola explores it through materials blending natural and recycled, old and new, industrial and sustainable.
You've nailed it. It's about reconciling opposites. For Burton, it's maybe more psychological. For Urquiola, it's very much about the physical world, about circularity, about finding sustainable solutions by uniting seemingly opposing forces like industry and nature. Her ceremony is Thursday, October 23rd, and includes a conversation with a design critic.
That's actually a brilliant pairing for the theme. Two masters exploring unity through conflict, but in completely different domains.
Exactly. And beyond them, there are other guests of honor who fit this mold too, like the British sculptor Emily Young.
Oh, yes. Described as Britain's greatest living stone sculptor. Her work often deals with the connection between humanity and the earth, right? Stone, time, faces emerging.
Right, another kind of unity. Then there's Gabriel Isik, a Swedish photographer. His work is very different, surreal, often using anonymous figures in quite stark monochromatic landscapes. It explores that inner world, the psychological side of dualism.
Okay. And you also mentioned Liku Maria Takahashi.
Yes, a Japanese painter and designer. She developed something called the Maris method, which creates art that can be experienced tactilely, making it accessible for people who are blind. That's a fascinating way to bridge the opposite of sight and non-sight.
That's beautiful. And there are others.
Several. Zhao Gei, a renowned contemporary Chinese artist known for spiritual painting, and Gregorio Luke, who used to direct the Museum of Latin American Art. He's giving lectures on artists like Rembrandt and Siqueiros, likely focusing on their use of light and shadow.
It's a really diverse group, all touching on this core theme, which leads us neatly into the how. How is all this actually presented? Let's talk exhibitions and programs. Tim Burton's solo show sounds like a major draw.
It definitely is. It's called Tim Burton, Light and Darkness. And importantly, it's curated by Burton himself, specifically for the Biennale. It's not just a touring show plopped down in Florence.
Okay, so what's in it?
It's spread across 5 rooms, designed to really immerse you in those dualities central to his work. Irony and melancholy, dream and nightmare, you know the vibe. It includes selections from his big World of Tim Burton exhibition, but also new exclusive pieces created just for this.
Oh, like what?
Well, the sources mention 3 enigmatic resin creatures, which sounds intriguing. Also, new three-dimensional lenticular works.
Lenticular, those pictures that change when you move.
Exactly. Think about how that plays with duality, showing 2 images in one space, depending on your perspective. Very fitting. There's also a big immersive piece called the Carousel Room, using UV lighting,
UV lighting, so like black light.
presumably, to create this glowing, perhaps slightly unsettling fluorescent environment. It sounds like it's designed to be quite theatrical, forcing you to experience the light-dark contrast physically.
And there's something about Corpse Bride, too.
Yes, a section celebrating the 20th anniversary of Tim Burton's Corpse Bride. They're showing some of the original puppets, Victor and Emily, included the complex internal skeletons, the armatures, used for the stop-motion animation. A real peek behind the curtain.
That sounds amazing for fans. Okay, shifting gears to Patricia Urquiola's exhibition, Transitions. How does that manifest the theme?
Hers is focused on her design process, particularly emphasizing experimentation, circularity, and sustainability. The installation itself is built around a semi-transparent wall made of recycled fir wood and polycarbonate.
So right away, that mix of natural and recycled, transparent, and solid.
Precisely. It embodies the transitions idea. And then the objects showcased drive it home, like the Moncloud armchair for Casina. It's designed to be almost entirely disassembled, 99.85%, and uses minimal virgin materials. It thinks about its end of life from the very beginning.
That's unifying the product's beginning and end. Circularity as unity.
Exactly. Or there's the Groovalot modular system from Moroso, using organic shapes and printing techniques that consume less water. Or the Babar table for Glass Italia.
What's special about that?
It's made from 100% recycled glass combined with plant-based resins. It really pushes the boundaries of using waste or unconventional materials to create high-end design. Again, unifying opposites, discarded and desirable, synthetic and natural.
It shows how dualism in design can be about solving real-world problems ethically.
Absolutely. Beyond these 2 big solo shows, the Biennale has other programming that reinforces the theme. There are design days focusing on Italian manufacturing.
And educational elements, too.
Yes, important ones. Experiential workshops for children about light and shadow. And Liku Maria Takahashi is doing a workshop on her Mara's method, that tactile art experience. It's open to everyone, including the visually impaired, which is a powerful statement about inclusion and overcoming sensory dualisms.
That connects back beautifully. And film.
Several film premieres, apparently, including a German film, Die Höhenluft, that references Nietzsche and explores reconciliation between opposing characters, and a documentary called Near Light about prisoner redemption, explicitly tackling good versus evil and finding unity.
So the theme really permeates everything, even posthumous tributes.
Right. Tributes to artists like Olivier Leonardi and Marcelo Mayorga connect the contemporary work back to artistic legacies, suggesting this exploration of duality is an ongoing conversation across generations.
Oh, and the official catalog presentation, too. That's part of how.
Okay, wow. We've covered a huge amount there. It's clear that this isn't just a random collection of art. They're the dense layering of creative content packed into just 9 days.
And that theme, the sublime essence of light and darkness, this idea of unity and dualism, it really does seem to be the thread pulling everything together, from Burton's Gothic fantasies to Urquiola's sustainable design and even the educational workshops.
It is. And grounding it all in Florence.
Yeah.
You know, the city of Lorenzo and Magnifico, the city of Leonardo da Vinci. It uses that immense historical weight. The Biennale positions itself not just as an exhibition, but as carrying forward that Florentine tradition of patronage, innovation, and, importantly, cultural dialogue. It's making a case for art and design as vital tools for navigating our complex, often divided world.
That's a powerful connection. So thinking about all this, here's a final thought to leave you, the listener, with. Burton and Urquiola, in their very different ways, suggest that these big dualisms, light, dark, good, evil, nature, industry, order, chaos, aren't really separate battles, but interconnected forces.
Interdependent.
So the question is, how often, maybe unconsciously, do we simplify these things in our own lives? Do we look for the light and try to banish the dark? And what might happen, what new perspectives could open up if we started seeing them more like the Biennale suggests as inseparable, maybe even complementary parts of a larger whole?
A challenging thought. And before we wrap up, just that crucial reminder about the source of this analysis.
Yes, absolutely. Let's state it clearly one more time.
This review has been researched, analyzed, and produced by Simona Cochi, digital journalist and producer from The Italian Way, an expert in the field of digital valorization of arts, design, and fashion events and collections, who curated and authored the contents of this review.